That's Ezequiel Duran. Through 58 games in 2026, he leads every second baseman in the American League in WAR, which is wins above replacement. His slash line is a .293 batting average, a .345 on-base percentage, and a .457 slugging percentage, and his WRC plus is 124. And 1 year ago, he had a 57 WRC plus, 0 home runs, and 219 plate appearances, and a very real question hanging over his roster spot. This is the story of how that happened, and analytically, how much of this showing from Ezequiel Duran is real. But to understand why this story matters, you have to go back further than 2025. Ezequiel Duran signed with the New York Yankees as an international free agent for $10,000. For context, that's the bonus equivalent of a 15th to 20th round draft pick. Organizational depth money, nobody signs a $10,000 player expecting an all-star. In July of 2021, the Yankees packaged him to Texas in the Joey Gallo trade, along with utility infielder Josh Smith, Trevor Hauer, and pitcher Glenn Otto. At the time, Rangers fans didn't really know what to expect of these prospects from the Yankees. In hindsight, Smith won a utility Silver Slugger, and Duran, well, that's what we're going to get into this video. Duran debuted in 2022 at 23 years old. He had flashes here and there, but it only accumulated to a WRC plus of 82. Then 2023 happened, and well, we'll come back to 2023 because it matters more than you think. In 2024, a 75 WRC plus, back to the bench for Duran, and then 2025, the season that nearly ended the whole thing for him. His WRC plus wasn't great either. Let's start at the bottom. In 2025, Ezequiel Duran slashed .224 for batting average, a .267 on-base percentage, and a .293 slugging percentage, an OPS of .559, and a WRC plus of 57 like I mentioned previously. That's 43% below league average for a hitter. He did not hit a single home run in 219 plate appearances. His average exit velocity was 85.3 miles per hour. His barrel rate was 2.6%. His hard hit rate was 30.9. Just to put that into context, the Fangraphs value system calculated his total dollar value for the 2025 season at negative $100,000. He was literally worth less than a replacement level player by the numbers, so basically we could have just called up a random player from AAA and probably gotten better performance. Duran was primarily a bench piece in 2025. 17 games at second base, 30 at shortstop, 25 at first base, 11 games in the outfield. Super utility in the truest sense of the term. And I'll be honest with you, after the 2025 season, I thought Duran was going to be designated for assignment and let off the organization entirely. I thought it was coming. A 26-year-old bench piece with 0 home runs and a negative dollar value on a roster that needed the spot, that's the profile of a guy who gets the phone call. Then Josh Smith got hurt early this year. But before we get to that turnaround, we need to understand what actually was broken in 2025 because the numbers go deeper than a bad slash line. His exit velocity at 85.3 miles per hour is the output. But what caused it? Baseball Savant's bat tracking data tells the story at the input level. Duran's bat speed in 2025 was 71.5 miles per hour. His fast swing rate, the percentage of swings classified as maximum effort, was 17.2%. His squared up rate, the percentage of contact where the bat had truly met the ball, was 28.5%. Put those together and you get the barrel rate, 2.6% in 2025 for Ezequiel Duran. And the most telling number of the entire season, his home run to fly ball rate was 0.0%. Not low, not below average, literally 0. 0 fly balls left the yard in 219 plate appearances for Duran. His isolated power, which is slugging minus average, was .068. The league average isolated power is typically around .160. He was operating at less than half the power output of an average major leaguer. This wasn't bad luck. His expected numbers weren't that far off his actual numbers. His batting average on balls in play wasn't hiding anything. The physical inputs were broken. The swing was slow, the contact was shallow, and the results were exactly what you'd expect from that profile. The question going into 2026 was whether anything had actually changed or whether the system was going to produce the same outputs again. But as I mentioned previously, the thing that opened the door for Ezequiel Duran was the Josh Smith injury, who went down initially with a glute strain, but then a lot of other things to go with it, wrist inflammation, and viral meningitis. It was the kind of injury that in the normal offseason projection, you'd file as unfortunate and move on. But for Ezequiel Duran, it was a door opening, and since Smith went down, Duran hasn't closed that door. He stepped into the lineup at second base and has not let go of the job. Through 58 games, he has made 72 starts at second, 19 at shortstop, 7 in left field, 6 at third base, and he's starting tonight at first base against the Royals. The Rangers have essentially been running a one-man defensive department store, and that's how Duran got the nickname The Solution, because he can pretty much play anywhere and everywhere. He even took some reps at catcher when Danny Jansen was hurt. What the numbers say is this: he has a positive defensive value at nearly every position he's played. His range measured by outs above average at shortstop is +2. His Fangraphs total defensive value in 2026 is +3.7, the best of his career. Opportunity explains the playing time. It does not explain the 4.9 mile per hour jump in exit velocity for Duran. For that, we go back to the bat tracking data, and this time the inputs look different. The bat speed for Ezequiel Duran in 2025 was 71.5 miles per hour. In 2026, it's now 73 miles per hour. That's a 1.5 mile per hour difference. In baseball, 1.5 miles per hour of bat speed is meaningful. It changes the physics of contact, particularly on inside pitches where bat speed generates most of the power. The fast swing rate in 2025 was 17.2%. In 2026, it's 30.2%. That's not an improvement. That's nearly doubling. Duran went from having one of the lowest maximum effort swing rates in the league to being above the 50th percentile. He's attacking the ball differently this year. Squared up rate, 28.5% in 2025. Now it's 33.6% in 2026. The blast rate, StatCast measure of the most impactful swings, went from 11.6 to 15.8% this year. And then the outputs, exit velocity, 85.3 to 90.2, barrel rate 2.6 to 6.4. There's one more piece, the plate discipline. His overall swing rate dropped from 52.7 to 48.2%. His zone swing rate is down. His called strike rate percentage is up to 17%, meaning he's taking more pitches for strikes rather than chasing them. He is swinging less but harder and better at pitches. The sequence matters here. The swing decisions change first. The physical outputs, exit velocity, barrel rate, followed. This is the fingerprint of genuine mechanical improvement and not just a mere random improvement of luck. It is not the fingerprint of just having the batting average on balls in play spike. Now let's talk about the bat, because this isn't just an opportunity story. The contact quality is genuinely different from last year. In 2025, Duran's exit velocity was 85.3 miles per hour, and like I said, in 2026, it's 90.2. That's a 4.9 mile per hour jump. In baseball, that's not noise, that's a mechanical shift. And we all know the results have been spectacular so far this year for Duran, with a 124 WRC plus. And just for context, a league average WRC plus is 100. And another number to look at is his WOBA. It is 351. His expected WOBA is, which strips out luck, is 318. So not spectacular, but definitely still league average. And his WAR through 58 games is 1.9, which leads All-American League second baseman over Ernie Clement, over Jazz Chisholm, and even Travis Bazzana. For Duran, his StatCast sprint speed is at the 90th percentile, 28.8 feet per second. His range score at shortstop is in the 92nd percentile. This is an elite athlete who finally has the playing time to show what he can do. Which brings us to a sentence I did not expect to say in June. Ezequiel Duran has a legitimate all-star case. While Travis Bazzana will probably get the popular vote, the name recognition, the prospect pedigree, but Bazzana's at 0.8 WAR in 38 games, and Duran at 1.9. So that's the highest WAR of the second basemen in the American League, and if the selection were made on the numbers alone, it isn't close. And there's a roster ripple effect here. When Texas traded Marcus Semien, the plan was Josh Smith as the everyday second baseman, at least against right-handed pitching. However, Duran may have just rewritten that plan for Chris Young and the organization. The likelier outcome now, Smith returns to the super utility role, which he plays genuinely well, possibly sharing first base time with Jake Berger, while Duran keeps the job he took. I honestly don't think anyone would have expected this going into the 2026 season. Baseball is weird like that. Although, just like the Alejandro Ozuna video, I need to have full transparency here. Duran's batting average on balls in play is 370. The league average is somewhere in the 290s. His expected batting average based on exit velocity and launch angle is 268. So there is a gap. The gap is real. His expected weighted on base average is 318. Like I said previously, his actual weighted on base average is 351. The difference is 33 points. In baseball, that usually closes. Most projections have him regressing slightly. His barrel rate is 6.4%. That's the 23rd percentile. He's not a power hitter with a repeatable pop the ball over the fence all the time. The home runs are coming from overall contact quality improvement and exit velocity, not from a suddenly elite barrel rate. And the number that pitchers are going to find in his StatCast data is his chase rate, which is in the 35.6%. That puts him at the 16th percentile league-wide. He is chasing more than 84% of hitters. That is the one real lever opposing pitchers can pull. More sliders off the plate for Duran, more four-seamers up and away, and the regression projections start looking more accurate. The four-seam data confirms it. Against four-seamers this year, his run value is minus 3.4. The smart pitching strategy against him is already written. And there's one more reason for caution, because we've seen this exact movie before with Duran. In 2023, Corey Seager got hurt. Duran stepped in, and through the first half, he was flirting with an all-star selection. A 111 WRC plus season at 24 years old. Then the second half came, the league adjusted, and he fell off drastically. By 2024, he is a 75 WRC plus player, and by 2025, the roster bubble. So when the projections say there should be some regression, they're not just modeling his batting average on balls in play, they're remembering 2023 a little bit. The difference this time, and it's a real difference, is the bat tracking data. In 2023, the underlying inputs never changed. In 2026, they have slightly. The bat speed is up, he has a faster swing rate, swing decisions are measurably better. That doesn't guarantee the second half goes differently, but it means this version of Duran is mechanically a different hitter than the one who collapsed in 2023. I'm hoping for the best. The data gives me more reason to hope than I had in 2023 as well. So where does that leave us? The contact quality improvement is genuine, the exit velocity jump is real, the defensive value is real. A player who was worth negative dollars in 2025 is now worth nearly $15 million according to Fangraph's valuation. That's a swing of $15 million over 12 months. He will probably not finish the season with a 351 weighted on base average. The batting average on balls in play is too high as well. The barrel rate is too modest, and the chase rate is a known weakness. But here's the thing, even if every projection system is right, and Duran still finishes as a slightly above average hitter and an elite defender who can play every position, I think that's very valuable in my book. Josh Smith went down on May 5th, Ezequiel Duran stepped into the lineup, and so far he has not given that job back. Whether the numbers hold is the question for the second half. The question for right now is answered.